different sides to the coalition conversation, or more appropriately, the controversies and the crisis within the ADC, which they've said time and again that it's not their own doing, that it's from external forces. So let's find out from our next guest. We're joined now on the program by Mr. Don Norman Obinna, who's a spokesperson for the Kachikwu-Led ADC group. He's also a journalist. He joins us live from our Abuja studio. Welcome to the program.
It's my pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. A lot of people saw you 2 days ago and they said, wait a minute, where is this coming from? We thought we only had the Nafiu Bala Gombe force contesting or contending with the David Mark group. Then your group comes up again and you're like, oh gosh, this is just a classic, political crisis that we have in Nigeria. But I want you to speak to this. Let's get it out of the way. When your video came out, your speech came out, a lot of people started digging and they brought up this picture. So this is an image of you. I know you've spoken to it, but we're giving you an opportunity to speak to it yet again. And a lot of people are saying, wait a minute, is he wanted? Was he wanted? Why is a wanted man speaking right now? So you have the floor now to speak to this. Maybe not for the last time, but yet again on national TV.
Okay, thank you, Nigerians, and thank you, Channels Television, for giving me this opportunity to at least, tell Nigerians what actually happened and how that picture on the screen came about. I'm a journalist by profession, and immediately I left New Telegraph, I established the REM newspapers. In 2018, I started making publications on Abia State government. I started publishing the FAC allocation of the state, the JAC allocation of the state, and every damn kobo that accrued to the state. So when I started making this publication, the Abia State government did not find it funny. Then on December 25th, 2018, the Abia State government declared me wanted on cyber crime laws, and sending false messages through computer. Of course, it was funny because as a journalist, my duty is to report. I'm not a newsmaker. My own is to report with facts, and that was what I did. So after Christmas, I was not in town, so I came in. I was in Abuja when I was told that Abia State government police officers from state headquarters somewhere invaded my estate, in Lekki, and arrested my two sons, my two underage sons, and they were taken to Ajiwe police station. They were there for at least 2 nights before I contacted the commissioner of police, who berated them and instructed them to release those boys immediately. So police tendered an apology, and when I finally got to Abia State on a radio program, that was on 1st of March 2019, that I was on radio program, Flow FM to be precise, in Abia State, Omaha, when the police invaded the studio and arrested me. I was taken to state headquarters Omaha and straight to magistrate courts. And when we got to the magistrate court, the chief magistrate Egwu said that he lacks jurisdiction and asked that I will be remanded in prison until the case is taken before a competent court of jurisdiction. So I was in prison for about 2 months. Amnesty International came into the matter. Even the CPJ, Committee for Protection of Journalists. In fact, the first publication that was made, if you Google now, journalists arrested on Flow FM, you will see the first publication came from New York by CPJ. Jonathan anchored it, and the Amnesty International came to Abia State. It was a very serious problem. And at the end of the day, they didn't even take me to court at the time. So I spent about 2 months in prison before I was taken to the court. And the judge, in his wisdom, granted me bail. And Abia State government never came to continue the case because in the first place, their intention was not to prosecute me, but their intention was to just keep me away so that I would not participate in 2019 general election, because then I was actually hitting the government badly. I was actually making some, publications that was actually, affecting their integrity.
Okay, so, let's
they didn't come. And in 2022, the court struck at the matter and discharged and acquitted me. That was what happened. I was not arrested for fraud.
Okay.
I was not declared wanted by anything. I was declared wanted because of my profession, which is journalism. Thank you.
Okay, Obinna, let's talk about the big one, the ADC. So whilst everybody was locked up in the disagreements over whose leadership between David Mark and Nafi Bala, then we saw your group emerge. How did you emerge?
Okay, that is an impression I want to correct. Thank God that you gave me the opportunity to speak to.
Yes, I'll be quick because so that we can ask more questions because of time.
Yeah, we are not a group. We are members of the ADC National Executive Committee, and we are the second highest organ as far as ADC is concerned. We are the body that ratify every decision made by the National Working Committee of the ADC. Now, the reason we went to court, the reason we came on air is to ensure that the ADC Nigeria will present candidate come 2027. You will agree with me that even the pronouncement from the INEC or the appeal court never mentioned anything about the ADC National Executive Committee. And according to the constitution of the ADC, once there is a lacuna, or should we say a leadership vacuum, the ADC constitution says or mandated the leadership of the neck of the party to take leadership or to take control of the power pending when the crisis will be over. So all we did was what we call a rescue mission to ensure that all our efforts were not in vain. So that was what prompted our decision to come on air to say that no, the misgivings out there that the INEC decision has left ADC leadership lacuna is actually a media propaganda. That it did not leave us with leadership propaganda. What actually happened is that we will write to INEC officially telling them about, the constitution, informing them of ADC constitution. And we believe that they will allow us to control where our National Working Committee officers stopped so that we will be able to, provide that leadership that Nigeria craved.
I'm trying to understand, are you not being opportunistic? I hope you read the judgment in that interlocutory appeals. The second consequential order was maintain status quo ante bellum pending the determination of the suit, of course, but everybody should stay action so that they don't foist a fait accompli and render the entire court process a nugatory. Those were the exact, maybe I don't quote them exactly, but those were the language of the court. So where do you come in all of this? Because INEC itself has said, I don't want to have anything to do with anything of this leadership and all of that. Let's go to the trial court. When that is determined, we're going to know. So they took out David Mark's name after they replaced it, after Mr. Ralph Mosun's name was removed. So I'm trying to figure out where you come in and what you're going to be telling INEC.
Like, of course, I told you, I wouldn't say I disagree with that language being opportunistic. It's a constitutional matter. Like I said before, the constitution of the ADC allows the neck of the party to take, or to fill a vacuum or take leadership of the party if there's a lacuna, like I said before. But what prompted our decision and timely these days, you remember that Nafi Bala took the National Working Committee led by David Mark to court. Why the court? Why the matter was before an honorable high court, federal high court, the National Working Committee of the ADC challenged, appealed that suit, at the appeal court, and we all saw the result. The appeal court asked them to go back and deal with the merit of the matter, and granted accelerated hearing. But while we were waiting for them to do that, so we can be able to chart a way forward, they went to Supreme Court to appeal that same thing. So in this case, we do not understand what they actually want the Supreme Court to do. I can tell you for free that we will know the outcome of the Supreme Court even without preempting them, because you don't expect Supreme Court to say that the appeal court was wrong. So we looked at it that instead of playing to gallery and seeking public sympathy, we just a particular the second organ of the party should do the right thing. And what is the right thing? The right thing is to ensure that this accusation against these allegations that ADC will not be able to present candidates come 2027 will be quashed. So what we have done is, like I said, it's a rescue mission. Our objective, I want to tell Nigerians that there's something like opportunistic about this, because we don't even have access to the coffers of that ADC. What we are doing is to ensure that all our efforts will not be in vain. What we've just done, or what we are doing right now, is to ensure that at the end of the day, ADC will be able to feature credible candidates.
Pardon me if I may quickly comment. The reason you're, coming into the matter at this time is being described as opportunistic is, well, I believe partly is because your principal, the Kachikwu suit against the leadership of David Mark, was thrown out, and you coming in at this time, one wonders what headway would you provide for the party, knowing that the issue may not be determined in favor of the David Mark ahead of that time. So what would you be offered such that you can settle your issues outside of court? Is that what you are seeking, the Kachikwu group?
Now, I also want to increase this impression. The maybe Kachikwu group is a creation of the media. I don't know where that came from. Like I said, the maybe Kachikwu was our presidential candidate in 2023, and that does not make him the leader of the ADC. In short, it's an insult to describe ADC National Executive Committee as a kind of stooge, or to maybe Kachikwu, who is an individual. If there's any group that will do favor to maybe Kachikwu, it will even be the neck of the ADC, who will even lift his suspension, bring him back to the party, cancel his expulsion and bring him back to the party. There's nothing the maybe Kachikwu can actually offer the ADC. So I want to correct that impression that the maybe Kachikwu, we are not group loyal to the maybe Kachikwu. Then on the second question, you are.
Mr. John Norman Obinna, because of time, and I see that we're having issues with that connection, we have to go now. But can you say before Nigerians that you have not been paid to do this job?
Honestly, like I said before, people have right to whatever thing they want to believe. But a lot of people know me. I'm a public figure, and I have been fighting for justice, been fighting for good governance. And I don't think at this point in time in my life that I will allow all those my efforts, throughout the year to go down the drain because somebody wants to suborn me. Nobody suborned me. Nobody suborned our group. We are just doing the right thing.
So you've not received any support, any money, any inducement from the APC, the government?
Let me answer the question this way. I think
it's just yes or no because of time.
Anybody can do to himself.
Right. Yes or no? Okay. Mr. Don Norman Obinna, we have to thank you for your time. We were hoping we'll get that response through. But thank you for your time. He's a journalist and also a member of the ADC. His group recently said, well, they're taking over the party. But we have to anchor at this point. This is clearly not the end of the conversation. We'll have Mr. Don Norman Obinna back on the show for more interrogation, more questioning. I'm Kayode Kikile. Thank you for joining us.
We're back tomorrow with the home stretch. Thank you for watching. I am Bukola Koka.
I'm Jeffrey Zoma. Bye-bye.